happy because my goal, or as our goal as any business owners, is to have a consistent flow of clients, regular clients. And through LegalMatch, I've been able to have that. Every week I do have leads. I have people coming to the office. Right now I'm doing the estate area. I receive clients on a regular basis. So in terms of growing and a firm consistently, so it provides me that tool in order to grow my firm consistently. Before the COVID, I was receiving the clients on a regular basis. I would find a client from LegalMatch. During COVID, LegalMatch was literally my sole source of marketing because I was not online at all. I was totally brick and mortar, and most of my clients were referral. They were referred to me, or they walked to the office. I was not online. Therefore, during the pandemic, my sole source of going to a portal and finding client was LegalMatch. So although we had the pandemic, we were able to still have clients during the pandemic. And then that process, of course, continued to grow the number of clients that we were having from LegalMatch. And now we are having also the referral. But during the pandemic, it was only LegalMatch. That's all we had. What I like with it is just the certainty I'm going to have the leads there. Actually, that's the term, the certainty I'm going to find leads there on LegalMatch. And what I like also with it is that they did promise me, actually that's big, that once I am in one area, it's not going to be flooded with other attorneys. They kept their words. Because when I go, I don't know how many attorneys are in the areas which I have signed up for. But what I know, if I always find clients, it's because it's not saturated. So they had promised me that from the inception of our relationship, that Marjorie, you are going to ensure that there are leads for everybody. You are not going to be missing on leads because there are too many attorneys in that area of practice. And actually, that's why I haven't been able to enter the immigration, because they've always told me, Marjorie, we don't have, for immigration, New York City, no more space. They could have simply given me immigration and I would not find clients. But that certainty and that I like that. I that credibility they have, that credibility, I like that. The fact that they promised it, and it's true, it's very true. So when you sign with LegalMatch, if you're signed with criminal law, as long as you are processing your leads timely, you will find the leads. So just to say thank you, because LegalMatch did help at times when the office, I didn't know what to do. I was not doing marketing, and it came in very handy. And at some point, even when I was not financially, I didn't hold my part of the bargain, they reached out, Marjorie, don't worry, we're going to work with you. And they worked with me. One, having the portal readily available. Number two, having the leads coming. I don't have to go after the leads. The leads are there. The only thing that I have to do is process the leads. And the staff, actually, LegalMatch team is good. You can reach out to the team. And actually, the team reached out to me. And the other thing is that if the team knows that the attorney does immigration or probate or real estate, the client, sometimes the client may have may place the lead on the portal and possibly did not receive a call, and then they will call the office and say, LegalMatch told us that you specialize in that area, so we would like to speak to the attorney. That one is great. That one is really an added value to the LegalMatch. If you are practicing in one area and the client is looking, I don't know how it works. I don't know if the client calls LegalMatch and LegalMatch tells them to call us, but we have received a couple of calls from the client and then telling us that LegalMatch recommended that they call us. That one, I don't know the way it works. And then as attorneys, we are doing business and we want to serve the most client as possible. Therefore, it's a no-brainer if you have a portal that's giving you the leads, and then the only thing that you have to do is process the leads and then to serve the client. It's major. When I just started with LegalMatch, I had LegalMatch and 3 others. I had to drop the others because they were costing me a lot of money. I had no leads, and then they had leads, but when you will call the lead will tell you they don't need it, or they will tell us, we thought that it was for free. They told us it was going to be free. So that was when we just started with LegalMatch, and that's why I decided to stay with LegalMatch, because I had three others. And I thought to have multiple ones, but the others, whenever we call the clients, and the clients will tell us, oh, we thought that it was free, it was going to be free. They told us that we didn't have to pay, it was pro bono. So I don't know if it was the company or if it was a lack of understanding, but most of the clients, and actually all of them, the client thought it was pro bono, that we were pro bono. And that was three lead generation companies. So that's why I decided to stay with LegalMatch. That's 7 years now, from 2013. LegalMatch has served us well. So the portal, as long as somebody is attending to that portal, it's very difficult for the attorney not to find clients. So whether it's an attorney who's trying to grow his or her firm, whether it's an attorney who's just starting and need to find new leads, LegalMatch will definitely provide those leads for the attorney to serve clients. It's as long as the leads are being attended to. Of course, the person has to follow up with the client. When the person promised to call, I'm going to call you within 24 hours. It's good to follow up, and then the 24 hours call the potential client. But to me, it's a no-brainer to have a portal like that. And as at an attorney's disposal to grow a firm. Wow, we receive multiple a week. We do not process all of them because sometimes when we are looking at the summary, if the summary is not really it doesn't align with what we do not process them. So, but we process at least possibly at least 10 a week. But we receive more than that, more than a third of the one that we process, and then they have to be qualified. Out of the qualified ones, let me explain. From the qualified one, it's higher than third. It's higher than 1/3 because we qualify them. The ones who are qualified, when we go through them, we at least 40%, if not 50%, becomes clients. The qualified leads. Right now, I have a lot of high-value case from LegalMatch in the millions, but right now I cannot even give it because we are still, and that has been during the COVID. We are still in court with all of them, or we are in the process, but they are 7-figure cases. I think I've hit 7 figures. Let me say that way with LegalMatch already. Let me say that, but I don't have an exact number. I joined LegalMatch in 2013, and I believe at that time, it was after the financial crisis, we called it, and my flow of client had decreased tremendously. And at that time, I was not doing real estate. I think I was doing mostly immigration and matrimonial and immigration. And one of my interns, actually, it was not even my doing. One of my interns took the initiatives, and then she found LegalMatch, and we went ahead, we signed. And the person who was working for me, I think, was it Jeremy? He was like excellent in terms of customer service. He reached out and he told us, we're going to be here. We're going to make sure that you succeed. And literally, the first day that we signed I think we signed with LegalMatch on a Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we had clients in the office. So it was what? And at that time, we had so many clients at some time, we had to stop it. Because what I had done, which LegalMatch, I have to say, did not recommend. I took, I think, 6. I think I took family, criminal. I think I took 6 or 5. Which I must say, LegalMatch had told me it's usually best to start with 1. The one that I wanted was immigration. in New York, in New York City, which was not open, and I took everything else. And at some point, I turned down the volume. I had to stop, and then I started again possibly 3 years ago. It has allowed me to grow consistently and to give me some cases, and then we've had the client consistently. So I've received like great service from LegalMatch. The tip I will have will be to have somebody who is attending to it, and then to follow up with the leads immediately. They say 2 minutes, even if it's not 2 minutes, but follow up with the leads immediately. Send an email to the client. Some clients may not say yes as the attorney is speaking to the client. So tell the client, show to the client how the attorney will serve the client, and then call the client within 24 hours. But always advise the client, is it okay for me to give you a call within 24 hours? So the client knows that they don't feel that they are being bombarded by calls. On a day-to-day basis, I have a sales coordinator who's excellent. Every day when I have a meeting with her at 9:30, every day her first act of the day is to turn on the LegalMatch and see if we had requests overnight. She processed them, and at 9:30 we have our meetings. And after our meeting at 9:30, toward the day, she also, because the LegalMatch we do receive the email. So if we receive an email, she will automatically, I think we have a time, I don't know exactly time, but there is a time on our policy and procedures for our coordinator to reach out to the clients. And we reach out to the clients, I believe we follow it up with an email. And within 24 hours, we call the client to see that if the client needed more questions. And usually we give them, I believe, another possibly 48 hours or a week. I don't know the procedure by heart, and then for us to follow up with them. And then once they become a client, of course, we start the case and then try to give them the best service possible. I will recommend LegalMatch with a recommendation that the attorney assign somebody to work on LegalMatch. The person must really have someone to attend to it. To attend to the leads, catch the leads within the 2 minutes, I think, possibly more, but you need to have somebody to attend to the leads. Let's say the person is a solo practitioner who doesn't have staff. The recommendation would be to carve some time during the day, and then like time maybe early morning, at noon, or late afternoon to go through the portal. I can almost, I don't want to say guarantee, but I really do believe definitely the person will see a change.